Okay, Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You understand? The Israelite School of the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group. You understand? You may look around and see on YouTube and other various social medias. You may see many people that call themselves Israelites. Well, this whole truth started in 1969, called the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group. All these other groups are heretics and cowards. You understand? And they teach heresies which only continue to further destroy our people. You understand? And since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K has been teaching that the so-called blacks of the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? And the natives of North, Central, and South America, and all the Caribbeans and all the rest of it. You understand? We are the true biblical Israelites according to the Bible. According to the Bible, it is not those people in Jerusalem right now wearing the little twirls on their head, the little pop hats. Nah, that's not people. That's not the people of the Most High. You understand? When you go in further into history, you know those are the Khazarians. You understand? People of the steppes. Those are the people of the Khazarian Empire, and there are many tribes along those steppes in that region. But those specific people are those of the Khazarian Empire. They are not the children of Israel. And today is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. I'm Priest and Officer 500, Shamgar Bun Bunyamin, right? And and this class today is literally about brotherhood. This is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. So every Tuesday, this is the topic, brotherhood. You understand? Yesterday we had the Monday history class, you understand, which is normally done by Priest and Officer 5000, Karafia. And then tomorrow we'll have the Wednesday law class, which is done by Priest and Officer 1000, Don Gabar. You understand? And on Thursdays we're gonna have the the scripture breakdown class done by Priest and Captain of 10,000 per Russia. And then on Fridays we have the On the Ends radio where you can call in and you can ask your questions or even challenge us to a debate if you will. You understand? And the number is always provided for anyone who would like to call in. You understand? And on Saturday, and obviously the Saturdays is the Sabbath for the Lord, and so we had the Sabbath service from 12 p.m. So lucky from 12 a.m. You understand? 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. 12 p.m. noon, right? Noon time. 12 p.m. noon time to about 1 p.m. You understand? Okay. Now today's topic is continuing from the last class I did last week, which was the title was "Forgive thy brother, not enemies." You understand? Not thine enemies. You understand? And this is the part 2 of that class. Now, last week we covered a variety of things, including the fact that the Lord came for Israel and that the Lord had mercy upon those blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and none else. And he, even in all our disobedience and our madness and all our wickedness and that we've taken part in all the years of our people, the Lord still have mercy upon us, you understand? Had mercy upon those drug dealers, you understand? Had mercy upon, you understand, those people in idolatry, fake Israelite groups and on all these heresies like Christianity and Islam. He had mercy upon our forefathers when they sought the other gods and women of the other nations, you understand? This day and age now, we understand that we are those people and it is our time to come back. Well, last week, I touched on the fact that the Lord's came for us and that the Lord had mercy upon us even in the midst of all our wicked deeds. Well, then we should be able to have mercy upon our own. You understand? We should look at how the Lord chose us out of all nations of people. You understand? And he gave us something different from everybody else. And he gave us a promise, no matter how wicked and rebellious as we may have been in history and in present time, the Lord has always had his mercy upon Jacob, and he always will. And this is the time now where we have to remember the brotherhood of our forefathers and remember what the law says and the statutes. That's right. You understand? So last week touched on the mercy of the Most High and how we should on us to how we should exact that mercy unto our brothers and sisters like our own. You understand? Come from the same tribes as we do, man. They come from the same bloodline as we do. Come from the same oppression and struggle as we do. And every other nation around about us, they don't feel what we feel. They don't go through what we go through. when it's every other nation's time of oppression and suffering, they look to their own, and they look after their own, and they're allowed to uh, have bereavement for their people and their kind, but we are not. Every time we talk about our history and our struggle, they always bring up something else from another nation, or they say that was in the past. You understand? This is the time we have to understand there's a reason why every other nation, no matter what they look like, no matter what skin color they are not our own. Better treatment and a better situation than we do because they don't have and All right, shalom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're back. So lucky for that, we had a connection issue. You understand? But we are back online. All right. Just stand by for us, Bob Kashar, and we will be back in motion. Is it the same code?
Yeah, same code. Yeah. I think that's it. And Trump can refit anytime.
He's gonna come on now.
Yeah.
Cool. Most high Christ. All right, man. So, all right, we're back online now. So, like I was saying, we have to look at the fact that there's a reason why our people have been, you understand, at the bottom for such a long time, and we have been suffering what we've gone through. And there's a reason why our brothers and our sisters hate one another because of the tools that have been used, you understand, that are from the people that rule over us. Okay. So like a Trooper Akiyan, if you could get me Romans chapter 9 and verse 13, Bob Kishar.
Hold on, Romans.
Yeah, 9 and verse 13, yeah. Yeah, because you know we have to verse, yeah, because we have to remember as a people that you know the Lord always had his judgment. We as people like to give our love and our forgiveness to our enemies who are oppressing our people. But we must remember the Lord that we serve. The Lord gave his mercies unto us, not none else. You understand? The Lord gave his mercies unto Jacob, Yasha Israel. He did not give his mercies to anybody else and his government and law and his judgments. He didn't give it to anyone else. That's what he gave to our people.
Right.
We have to knowing that we should do as the Most High has done. Follow the example that the Most High has paved for us. You understand? The Most High has given us our laws and our statutes, and He has given us the guidance and the mercy, and He has shown us how to be patient with our people and how He is patient with us. And so, likewise, we should look to the fact that if the Lord gives us mercy, and He does render judgment unto the heathens that destroy us, then we should remember always their crimes. And we, like the class says, we should forgive our brothers and sisters, but we should not forgive our enemies. We should hold them accountable, because why? When our brothers do something to us, it's a civil matter, so called. You understand? When you have a altercation with your family members, it's a civil matter. You understand? If you have a civil crime or civil war that goes on within your own nation or people, that is a civil matter among you and your own. That's what we have to handle. We got to deal with it as our laws dictate. You understand? To uphold brotherhood. But when the heathens come into our home and oppress our people, it is not the same. It is an act of war. You understand?
That's right.
When any nation alien to the nation that is at the helm, right? Any nation alien to a nation is going to attack another. That nation is not. It's not a civil matter where they can handle it their own way. No, it is a war. It's a war situation, and they have committed war against the Most High and His people. You understand? That's what they've been doing for hundreds of years, and that's why the Lord, like we're gonna read, the Lord renders His judgment for these nations, because the Lord sees that as war. He sees it for what it is, and that's war. But the problem is that in today's society, we have taken the lives of our oppressors and have taken the blind vision. You understand? And we have taken that and have not acknowledged what we have not acknowledged the reality of things. The reality of things is that you are in a state of war. Your people are consistently oppressed and surrounded by their enemies, and there is no defense. There's only a defense when you come here and serve the Most High. Then the Lord will be with us. But when you want to be in the world and love everybody, you notice how we always get in the wrong end of the stick, the short end of the stick, as it was. We're the ones always suffering because we are in a state of confusion and blindness that we can't see that we are actually in a war zone.
That's right.
We have been in a war zone when we put on our TV and our kids have to watch certain homosexual things on TV, or have to watch the feminization of our brothers, and not depicting masculine black men, but depicting weak black men that can't control their women. You understand? That's what they depict on. You understand? They promote our sisters to be whores with no clothes on, and to be running them off and telling the man what to do. That's warfare, man. That's warfare onto our households and our people, and that's what destroys our minds. Once our minds are destroyed, then it's easy to go destroy one another, because it's like we're put in the same ghettos and cages to be only to be destructive to ourselves. So, like, if you read that book, sure.
Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Is that, you understand? The Bible said that the Most High loved Jacob, and it's always in the Bible. That's throughout the Bible, the Old and the New. You understand? The Lord has always loved Jacob, Israel, always loved blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You know why? Because we're still here. That's the evidence of that. All that we've endured, any other nation could not have suffered, could not have gone through what we have. You know what I mean? Could not have survived the torment that we still suffer today and we've been through. They couldn't go through that. They wouldn't be here. You understand? But the Lord has mercy upon Jacob. You understand? But read that again about Esau.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
You understand? Esau. You understand? He wasted away as he. You understand? Edom, the red man, the man whose blood shows forth through his skin. That is Edom.
Right.
Those men that dwell in the cliffs of the rocks and that have destroyed the entire earth and its ozone layer and its seas and forests and jungles and all this riches of the earth and all this people of the earth has it destroyed and ruled over and tormented. And the Lord said he hates that people, that nation. You understand? You understand? He hates that nation. That is a nation of people. These nations like the UK, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, Spain, Portugal, France, you understand? America, these Greece, Rome, ancient Rome, you understand? These nations of people all derive from a tribe of people called Edom, the Edomites. That's right. And they had many different tribes within themselves that have taken over vast portions of the earth, which is evident. And they rule over every other nation. And the Lord said he hates them, man. The Lord didn't say he's angry with them. The Lord didn't say they had a bad moment or whatever. No, he said he hates them. Outright, he said he hates them. Read that again, Salakia.
Romans 9:13. But Esau have I hated.
You understand? The Lord said he hated Esau, point blank, period. But the Christian church, the pastor will never acknowledge this. You understand? He would say read the New Testament, but we read the New Testament and he would not be able to understand nor acknowledge the facts because he is a coward and a liar. You understand?
Right.
You understand? He is a coward and a liar, and he has no backbone. He has taught our men to be weak, and he has allowed our women to be out of their place and masculine and all over the damn place.
Right.
Because we follow weak men. But when we follow the scriptures and the priests and prophets of the Lord, we'll understand what strength truly is. We will understand what it means to truly be men and women. You understand? And understand what our place is on this earth. Read on, Bob Kishar.
Come. Read on to Lakia.
Come.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
So the question was posed that the trooper just read, you understand? And it said, is there unrighteousness with God? And it said, no. God forbid, there can never be unrighteousness with the Lord. It is because of his righteousness why he hates them. Because of the crimes of this nation of Edom, this Edomites, the Esau, you understand? Because of the crimes of this people, That's why the Lord hates them, and because of their uncleanness and the profanity of them as a nation of people. You know what I mean? Everything they do is just vulgar and unclean. There's there's nothing decent about them. Because look how they destroyed the earth. It was that same nation who had our people in captivity and was ruling over us during the time of our king when he was on the earth. You understand? When our king YAHANNA was on the earth, who do you think was the ruling government over Jerusalem? Who do you think what empire was ruling over the nation of Israel and various other nations that they had occupations over? You understand? We was paying, and they'll have each nation around around their empire paying taxes or homage to their empire. The Romans, which were derived from Edomites, white people, if you didn't know, Caucasians, so-called white men. You know what I mean? The oppressor today. You understand? And it was the oppressor back then. But the Lord said he will have mercy upon whom he will have mercy. He didn't say, he didn't say that he would have mercy to every nation. No, he said he had mercy unto Israel. And he would decide who was worthy of judgment and who is not. He would decide who he has mercy upon, who he does not. So, if you get me Psalms chapter 139 and verse 21.
Psalms 139, verse 29. 21, okay. Do not hate them, O Lord. Salakia. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee.
So there you go. You understand? This is David. You know what I mean? These are the Psalms of David, and our King David at that time, he said, "Do I not hate them that hate thee?" You understand? He hates them who hate the Most High. You know how they hate the Most High? Because they push their heresies and uncleanness and their way against his people, and they commit crimes against the children of Israel.
That's right.
That's why they are enemies to the Lord, and that's why they hate the Lord, because they hate his people. You can't love one without loving the other. If you love the Most High, you would have to love the Israelites, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. So called, you understand? This is when David is saying these nations of people, you know what I mean, round about us, the enemies of Israel, whom hate the Israelites, which also hate the Lord. They're the enemies of the Most High. You understand? But read that again, Baba Kishore.
Quran. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
So there you go, man. Just like in the UPK today, man. Are we not grieved with those who teach heresies that go against the Most High? Are we not grieved with systems and governments that teach and push agendas which go clearly against the Most High? Just like today, we hate those things, man.
That's right.
That's like everyone here.
Now, Slaki, just to add in onto that, and that's heavy because, lots of people always write to us, why do you talk about, fake Israelite groups? And it's because they grieve us, because they grieve the Lord, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. We don't do it because we want more people to watch us. We don't care about that.
Right.
But we are grieved that there's a people out there claiming that they have the understanding of God and they clearly don't, and we do.
That's right, man. That's right. Give the other one a hand, man. So it's it's so heavy, man, because this is the reality that we're in today. We're just reading it right now. King David in the Psalms is saying openly, "Do I not hate them that hate thee? Does it not grieve me for them that rise up against thee?" These nations rise up against the Israelites. These nations rise up against the Most High and his ways. These people hate the Most High and they hate the Israelites, evidently. You know what I mean? There's no denying that. And we that serve him, we despise the people that come up against. We despise the governments and the systems round about the earth, which promote the things which destroy and damage our people, as well as go against what the Lord laid down. You understand? And
Right.
David said it grieves him, just like it grieves us. It grieves him when he witnesses when he witnesses these nations come up against the Lord and preach and pushing their idols onto your people. You understand? So I can read on.
Quran Khan, verse 22. I hate them with perfect Salakia. I hate them with perfect hatred.
You
I
understand?
count them my enemies.
That's right, man. David counts them his enemies because they go against the Most High, and that's what we
Right.
must do. You understand? They go against the Most High. They are counted as our enemies, and that's why we
Right.
speak against fake Israelite groups. That's why we speak against all these organizations and these governments and facilities that destroy our people and speak against and go against what the Lord is about. You understand? Go
Right.
against what the Lord has given us. That's why we hate them with perfect hatred. A perfect hatred that will save a nation from destruction. A perfect hatred that will teach a brother to love his people and none other. You understand?
Right.
To love, to that pure hatred that will change a nation from a state of mental destruction and self-destruction to a state of glory and rule over this earth. That's what that hatred
Right.
will do. You understand? Because you hate the uncleanness of this world, and you love the righteous. Well, the only
That's
true
right.
righteousness in this world is those who serve the Most High sincerely and truthfully, not teaching
Right.
heresies that go against the sound doctrine, not loving other nations like a coward. You understand?
Right.
No, but coming truly standing for the Lord and standing against the nations of people. You understand who you have to live with and deal with in your day-to-day lives. Standing against what they believe and completely and how you stand against it is not only speaking against it, but how you live. You understand? How you've devoted your life to the servitude of the Most High. That's how you hate them. That's how you stand against them. How you
Right.
choose to give your compassion and your love and your mercy to your brothers and sisters. You understand? But the thing is about that is the fact that these other nations, they do that already. You understand? Which is the hypocrisies of these nations. And that shows how much they truly hate you. Because when it comes to them, they love to look about their own. You understand? But that's what we must understand too. We must understand that to truly achieve brotherhood within us and sisterhood is to truly remember that hatred, man. Because you cannot
Right.
love the people that hate your people and
Right.
claim to love your people at the same time. Same way like David. David cannot claim, he clearly evidently here because he loves the Most High with all his heart. He loves the Most High and his people, right? But he could never then say that he can give compassion or love to any other nation, because all
Right.
nations rise up against the Most High. That's all the enemies of the Most High. And in turn, him in loving the Most High and Israel, you would have to then have hatred for them that are all opposition or adversaries or ops to what the Lord has bringing. You understand what the Lord's about and his bloodline. That's what it's about, man. That's what brotherhood is about, is knowing who you give your love to. You understand?
Right.
So like if you read on from there, Bob Kishar.
Quran Khan, verse 23. Search me, O Yahweh, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts.
You
And see.
understand?
Salakia the one.
No, go ahead.
You want me to carry on? Okay. And
Yeah,
see if Khan. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
So there you go, man. That's how we must be with, just as David was when he spoke to the Lord openly. And he said for the Lord to try him and to test him to see if any error may be in him. And that's what we must do, man. We must purify ourselves with our culture and our heritage and what the Lord gave us. And that the Lord gave us that great righteousness, man, that great strength and courage to do what is right, even in the midst of nations, governments against us, man. Nations and governments are against us on the media, on our schools, on our streets, everywhere we go on our slaves, on our jobs, you understand? That is where all about. Anywhere we go, when we want to go buy grocery shopping for our families, this is what we have to deal with, the enemies around about us. Anything we need and want, we're in servitude to them and their empire. But we can still stand strong against it. You understand?
Right.
You still don't have to, you can still be living here and not be of this place. You can still be in this empire and be among these people, but then you may not be of these people. You understand? You may be you may be among them, dwelling with them, but your heart must remain solely loyal to the Most High and Christ.
Right.
You understand? Solely loyal to the blacks of the transatlantic slave trade. Solely loyal to the Hispanics, so-called. You understand? The Latinos, so-called. The Native Americans, so-called. You understand?
Right.
The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, whom are the children of Israel. Your soul and your heart is your mind. You understand? And your heart must be loyal to them. When you're at your slave and you're among the heathen, you can smile with Jeffrey and John and Sally. You understand? But when you go back home and you live your life separate from them and you do what you got to do, you don't conform to their holidays. You don't conform to their diets. You don't conform to their habits of taking drugs and damaging themselves. You may observe it. It's like it. You may observe that which you may see in this world, the homosexuality, the pagan holidays, and the Christmas and the birthdays and all the rest of the nonsense of this world. But you may observe these things, but you will not be a part of it. You will not partake of it. You will just be in here, surviving and doing what you got to do, so you can stand strong when our kingdom will arise. You understand? When this great kingdom falls and our kingdom will arise, we will just remain here and dwell here. But we will not conform ourselves, man. Because those who truly love the Most High, you can never have love for an Edomite. You understand? The Lord said he hated Esau. Because you know why? Because he said it in the Old Testament and he said it again in the New Testament in Romans. You understand? The Lord hated Esau, man. And you, one second, and you can't love the Most High and all his people and then love Esau. And that's why these fake Israelites fail, because they are heretics and they love their oppressor more than they love the Most High. It's not even a matter of more. It's just simply a matter of the fact that you love them shows you cannot love the people that they oppress. The fact that you love them shows that you cannot love the Most High and Christ. So, like, you had something?
Sir, just to add on to what you just said, what was heavy when you said, you can go to work with them and smile with Sally and all that, but don't follow none of their ways. So what came to me there, sir, was Proverbs 3:31, where it says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Like, just to add to what you said.
I'm right. Heavy precepts as well, and that's the reality we must understand as a people, man. The truth is bringing out is heavy, man. You understand? That's a precept that if our brothers and sisters were raised on that precept, just that precept alone, you know how much difference, you know how much better we'll be as a people, you know how much further you would be. You understand how much easier easier, but I wouldn't say easy, but you know how much progression it would have taken, or the lesser amount of work it would take to show them to love their own. You understand? To show them not to hate their own people. Just that precept alone, man. And that's the word of the Most High. That's what we need as a people. To achieve brotherhood and sisterhood in our communities and within ourselves, to truly love and serve the Most High and our people, Most High and Christ, and love the nation of Israel. In doing so, you understand, you cannot have that love for them, man. You understand? You have to be sensible. You have to be, was it wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove? You understand? That's what you gotta be, man. You gotta be that, man. You gotta be that, and you gotta know how to carry yourself, because that's the only way we're gonna ever rise as a people. That's the only way you're gonna elevate yourself, is when we achieve these things, man, and acknowledge these things in our lives, and stop playing. Stop trying to love everybody and be weak. Why have we not seen that so much in our communities, man? We've seen too much of that, where we're allowing all these other nations to come into our tin and they take it over. It is only the result, because when it comes to their nation, there's men that will stand for their nation. You understand? There's men in here that will stand for our nation too. But generally, as a people, we have fallen short, because You know what I mean? Unfortunately, most of our brothers and sisters are in the world, and they have chosen that path because they've only known weakness in that path. You understand? So, lucky if you give me Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 2, Bob Kishar.
Khan. Khan. Obadiah 1 verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small amongst the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
Thou art greatly despised.
So, lucky if you get me verse 1, Bob Kishar.
Khan. Obadiah 1 verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor
concerning Edom, the nation of Edom. Dom meaning blood, red. You understand? The Edomites. These are the people that are red. When you look at the so-called Caucasians today, the oppressors today, they have a fleshly color, right? Now you can see some of them, they actually look bright red when they get angry or they're hot, right? But generally, even if they're not, even some of them are not as red, they're still derivatives of red, which is pink or peach color. You understand? Because they can see their blood through their flesh. That's what red is. In ancient times, there was no word for pink or peach. There was just red. You understand? That's where those colors come from. They come from the pronoun of red. They're derivatives of red. So whenever you see them, they say they're pinkish or whatever. No, they're red. Because according to ancient Old English, there was no word for the word pink or peach. You understand? So these are the red nations of people that we see today. The Caucasians, the one that comes from the cliffs. We're going to get into that. Okay, read on.
Khan. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is saying among the heathen, arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
So remember, this is the nation. This is a prophecy about. This is a vision about the nation of Edom, right? And they are greatly despised. Read on.
Khan. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
So the pride of these people have deceived them, man. And remember, they are greatly despised. Why are they greatly despised? You know why? Because their tribes came from the Caucasus Mountains, man. The Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. That's why they got the name Caucasian. They come from. That's where their origin is. Like Georgia. There's a place in the Eastern Hemisphere called Georgia, right? And it's so far east. But that's basically their motherland. You know what I mean? Those mountains, that cliff of the rocks of the Caucasus Mountains, that is where they're from. Georgia, Russia, that's their home. That's their home. That's where they come from, man. And you look at Georgia. Georgia's a nation of white people. They're not. They may hate America, actually. Georgians may hate Americans, but they're the same people. They come from the same forefather and tribe. They are Edomites, but they're different tribes of Edom. But that's where they come from, man. That's their homeland, their motherland, as it was. You understand? And this nation was greatly despised because why? They come from the mountains and did what? Conquered all nations of people and slaughtered them, man. They went to Europe and took over that. They went to Australia and took over that. They go to the deserts and the steppes from Russia and all over the place and make embassies around the world and have military encampments all in every nation across the world and have agendas and what's that thing they push? You know when they can put a sanction on your nation, but if you don't follow their right, yeah, but yeah, can't. But they have like policies, or is it policies they say?
Policies, yes.
Yeah, right. They have policies in which the riches of America cannot be bestowed upon different nations of people based on the different agendas they want to push. Like maybe it might be women's lib, right? Where women want to do everything that men do, or it might be homosexuality, or it might be some level of vulgar liberalism that the nation by itself wouldn't do. Just like Rome in previous history, just like ancient Greece, you understand? They would go to nations and rule over them and enforce their culture and their ways onto that nation. Well, that's what they do today. And they are greatly despised. Now, there are many nations that are loyal to them, but they are still greatly despised because why? They enforce and take rule and control over other nations of people and their governments, and in some cases put in puppet heads to enforce their agenda. You understand? To make it better for their nation. Just like ancient times when they took over Europe, took over the Americas. You understand? Went to South Africa and called it their own. Went to Australia and New Zealand, and the list goes on. You understand? They have a history of conquering and destroying all nations of people, and even to this very day, they still are in that place. But and it says the pride of their heart have deceived them. So, like, what verse are you in?
3, sir.
Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
So there you go, man. You dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. That's the mountains, man. That's what it is. Those are the cavemen that you see them in the movies and the cartoons. That's their origin. They're the cavemen. Every other nation was on the plains of the earth, living on the earth, on the surface of the ground. They were living up in the mountains and the hills. You understand? So like you read on.
Whose habitation is high.
There you go. The habitation is very high. You understand? Don't sound like no Arabs to me. You understand? Don't sound like no damn Arabs to me. You know what I mean? Read on.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Now, there you go. They have that pride. They have that saying that they rule over earth and no nation can stand against them. That's them, man. That's the Edomites. That's the Caucasians today, man. They rule over every nation. They rule over the Arab nations. What Arab nation has stood against them? They're ruling over those nations. They got military bases in their nations. What are you talking about? With these heresies about Esau's the Arab, man. Nah, man. You're just weak and you love the oppressor. That's so simple as it is, man. You understand? And here you go. The Lord is talking about the nation of Edom, a specific nation of people who came from the cliffs of the rock, and habitation which is high. You understand? Read up to verse 8, Bob Kashar.
So, Salakia, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
So there you go. In that day, man, the last days, the Lord said he will destroy the wise men out of Edom. There you look at America, man. Who's it ruled by, man? You understand? Look, for how long was it ruled over by Trump? He said that to cure the coronavirus, you should inject cleaning products into your system, your bloodstream. You understand? Look at Boris Johnson, man. You understand? Look at all the other nations of people and these nations of Edom that have allowed themselves rulers who are just ridiculous. You understand? That's who the Lord is against. That's who the Lord is talking about. Edomites, man. So I can read on.
And the understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed to the end that everyone on the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
So now later on in that time, you understand, they will be cut off by slaughter, man. All their military might they have today, all their rule over the earth, eventually they'll be put down, man. All their military might be put to nothing and be put down, man. And they'll be triumphed against with ease as well. You understand? They will be destroyed with ease. It wouldn't take nothing. It's going to be easy. You understand? What verse you in now?
9, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
Okay, sir, just to add on to what you just said, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in 1 hour, the scriptures say that America will be destroyed, Salakia, to add on to the point that you just said. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. Damn right.
Come. Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Do you understand? So now it's telling us why he'll be put to slaughter. why his wise men will be made to be ridiculously stupid. You understand? For their crimes against Israel. You understand? For their crimes against the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Will this nation, this ethnic group, as it was, this nation of people will be brought down. They'll be slaughtered, man. They're wise and strong men. Those military might they will have. They all that pride about their nation and singing their national anthems and all the rest of it. They're all going to be put down, man, for their crimes against Jacob. You understand? Read on.
Qadwa Khan. And Shalakia, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
There you go, man. Shame will cover this nation. Shame will cover the oppressor, man. Shame shall cover them. All that they have done on this earth, and all that they have done unto our people, unto the children of Israel, and how they have stood against the Most High and his bloodline.
That's right.
Shame will cover them. They will be destroyed and brought to heel, and then they will feel shame, man. They'll be destroyed, and then they will know great shame. When they're in servitude to the children of Israel, the people that they've been oppressing for all these hundreds of years, they will feel shame, man. So, like, if you jump to verse 15, Bob Kashar.
Qadwa Khan, Obadiah 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
So now, we just spoke about the nation of Edom, who will receive no mercy, which you're going to find out about. But this, understand how this ties in, this mixing, or this gets into our class, in the fact that the Lord sees the crimes of these other nations, the heathens. The Lord sees their crimes, and he hears the calls and the cries of the children of Israel, of all our oppression and our suffering, and he remembers us, man. He doesn't do as your Christian pastor does, or, you know, as Jesse Jackson does, or what's the other one? Al Sharpton does, man. These weak men who have only soiled themselves and only have bowed themselves to the heathen, man, and forsaken their brothers and sisters. They are weak men, man. These men that forsake their people, then they are nothing like the men of the Lord, nor do they serve the Most High, because the men of the Lord and the Most High will never forget the cries of the children of Israel, never forget the deaths of our brothers and sisters that died merciful without mercy, man. Were put down, put to death with no honor and no mercy. The Lord and the children and the men that serve the Most High will not forget what is done, man. We will not forget the crimes that have been done unto our people, the acts of war which have been done by these other nations of people, man. The Lord will not forget it, and neither should we. We should not be like those weak men in the church and in the mosque that want to love another nation of people and forsake their own. No, we will remember the crimes that these nations, each and every nation round about us, has done, just as they do. You understand? They remember the crimes of their enemies, like what happened in 9/11. You know what I mean? How many that died in 9/11? 3,000? So lucky was it? 3,000 people died in 9/11. Then when they went over to the east, about 300 million died, I think it was it? 300,000. 3 million, right? 3 million to 3,000. You understand? 3 million to 3,000. 3 million of their people died. Suck it. 3,000 of their people died in the Americas, right? In that 9/11, right? And then they went over to the east, to the lands of the Arabs and the East Indians, and you understand. And what did they do? They slaughtered 3 million, man. For the death of 3,000 on their soil, they slaughtered 3 million, man. That's what justice is. It wasn't even exact justice, it was overkill. You understand? They took their justice and more. And that's how these nations operate. Whenever someone comes into their communities that's outside of their communities and does something wrong, what do? They go to war. They come out and they're all united together, just as in ancient times when you was attacked by an enemy tribe or nation, you would gather up all your strong men and go to war. And that's what they do today. They may not physically take up arms, but sometimes they do. You understand? And they defend their nation. And so must we. We must eventually come back to that state of where we can have pride in our people enough and strength of brotherhood and love for our own that we can be as that, man. We can be as that and more, where we will seek justice and never forget the crimes of our enemies and stop loving them and forgive the brother that owes you £10, man. You understand?
Come on.
Forgive the sister that owes you what, £20. You understand? Forgive the hurt that brother have done unto you, man. Forgive your brothers and your sisters, and look to the true enemies, man. Look to the true enemies that oppress us, man, and that's what we should do. Just like the Most High said, man. You understand? The Most High remembered the crimes of Edom because of the what? Because of the violence against Jacob. That's why Esau will be cut off, because of the violence against Israel, man. You understand? But so, like, you had something?
Can't, sir. Just to add on to that as well, it's like you know, they arm themselves, but they disarm us with the Christian church, and it's always down. It always comes down to the brainwashing from the church to our people. They will arm and kill 3 million in another country that destroyed them. But when anything happens to us, we've got to forgive. We've got to forgive them. So like the one. Just want to add to that. So.
I'm right. No, that's a heavy point, man. It's so true. You understand? This is what we have to deal with. And then we're here having to deal with the soft, pathetic, weak, no backbone, retarded Christianity, man. We have to deal with the simplistic mind of a slave. Listen, in the time of Nat Turner, right? You understand? His revolt lasted, what was it, 48 hours, 2 days? You understand? But listen, man, I would rather fight and die for those 2 days and have that great justice and honor than live as a weak, pathetic slave having to work for a devil, man. You understand? A slave could not understand that. It was actually slaves who, his own people, slaves, Christians, you understand, who sold him out. You understand? They want to fight for Massa and go and join his military and die for people that hate you. But you won't look nothing for your own. And that's the weakness that we must destroy, man. That's the principality and the stronghold that we must destroy. That Christianity, that slave mindset, that foolishness, that's what's destroying our community, man. That weakness is what's destroying our young men and whoring out and making our young women to be confused and destroyed, man. You understand? That's not helping us as a people.
Concert. Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Salaki, just to add to what you just said. It was a little boy that sold them out in that Turner, you know. Right. It was a little kid that snitched on them.
That's right. And there you go. I saw that, and that's the thing. Where did that little youth learn that weak mindset? Where did he learn to love Massa so much? Where did he learn that? I'll tell you where he learned today on TV, man. When they push that on our children, man, making them weak and simple, not understanding where they come from. They come from a line of warriors, man, great and strong and bold men. That's where they come from. That's what's in their veins. But they won't show you that in the movies. They won't show you that in Braveheart. You understand? They won't show you that when they're going into history about many different nations of people that fought and died in wars, and they won't show you that in the movies, man. You understand? They won't show that. They won't depict where there were black people in history that fought in many great battles, and they put them all as white with braids in their hair. When white people don't braid their hair like that, they can't braid like that. You understand? Who was that in history that had braids in his hair and was swinging axes and that? Who wasn't a white man? You understand? But they would actively destroy and whitewash history to paint themselves as the warriors. But meanwhile, we look today and we look at our brothers, how we're naturally built and how we are. And we look at them and we're like, what the hell are they talking about? What's about Braveheart? What are you talking about, bro? You understand? It was always us. But because we're depicted as something else, in the minds of our children, we are weaker than what we are. And that's how you control a slave when you got his mind from a young child, man. That's why they push these in these little schools, nurseries, and on their little TV programs that they put on for our kids to watch. You understand? Back in the day, I'm a young cat, but back in the day when I was coming up, watching certain cartoon shows and TV shows, you understand, they were more violent, more masculine. Now it's all some gay BS, man. I'm watching them. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is some BS, man. This ain't what it is. This is what a young boy supposed to watch. You understand? But this is the tools that they use to destroy our kids, man. And the same tool derives from Christianity, man. All of that derives from that Christian church, where that's where Nat Turner was allowed to be deceived and allowed to be betrayed because of the simplistic slave mindset that came from Christianity, man. You understand? And that if you're in a Christian church, you can never have brotherhood to your people, man. Your brother is the oppressor. Your brother is your enemies, man. And we in here will love our people and prefer our own rather than the enemies, man. Rather than the nations that hate us, man. You understand? There's nothing wrong with any nation taking pride in their people. But there's always something wrong when we do, man. When we take pride in who we are, there's a problem. There's a reason why, man. Because we're the Lord's chosen. And soon we will rise. You understand? Soon we'll rise and rule over them. But this time is coming. Go ahead.
Concern and what you were saying about the TV and them not showing our people as the masculine people, it's a strategic move not to encourage us. I think I've heard you say that before. In past classes where you've said something like, you know, they don't want to empower us to be the warriors because it's gonna incite us or encourage us to be that masculine person. Right. You understand? And go against their gender, their hidden agenda, which is to keep us feminized. You feel me?
I'm right. That's right, man. 100%, man. That's exactly right. You understand? But Salaki, if you read verse 15 again, Bob Kishore.
Khan, as thou hast done, it's Salakia. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
You understand? As thou hast done, as they have done unto Israel, man. As they have done to stand and to come up against the Most High and his ways and his people. You understand? As they have done, read on.
Khan, Salakia, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
There you go.
That's
right. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Salakia the one.
Yeah, so you understand their reward for all that they've done to our people, all that they do to stand against us as a nation of people, and all they have done. You understand? Their reward will be coming, man. They will feel it. And they will find out what it means to truly be the subservience to another nation of people. They will truly understand what it means to have to grovel and beg to other nations of people for what your necessities are in your own households, for your own nation. They will understand that day. You understand? And they will understand what it means to be truly oppressed and truly be under the heel of a nation that is not your own. So, like, you got something?
La answer.
Okay, no sweat. Feel like if you read on.
Khan. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually.
That's right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Khan. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
You understand? They will be all these empires, man. The Sassanids, the Persian Empire, the Persians and Medes, the ancient Greeks, the Romans, America today, you know, Germany, Russia, China, Japan, Korea, you know, or the Mongolians, you know, the Africans, all their little empires, and you understand, the Samoans and them, man, there, you understand? All these nations of people will be as they will never hear, as in how they have come up in the earth and all that they've done and achieved in the earth, all their victories in battle, and all that they've done to oppress our people, all of that would be as nothing. They'll be a different people, man. They'll be as though they've never been. They would only know oppression and slavery. They would only
Right.
know their place as slaves. They will never remember the great empires they once had and the great oppression and power they had over the children of Israel. Nah, man. It will be as they've never been. It'll be all of this that we see today will be as a distant tale or a folk tale, you know what I mean, that you hear over the fire or some, you know what I mean? Some story that it's like, yeah, some whatever. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, you know, Indians used to own all the shops in the black community. You understand? Or once upon a time, the Arabs and the Chinese and the Japanese used to have some kind of power or better money and a stronger community than the blacks. You understand? Or the Native Americans. That would be a myth. That would be like, what? Whatever, man. Go get me my wine, man. You know what I mean? That's what that would be. It would be like, what are you talking about? Get out of here, man. You understand? It will never be. So I can read a little bit again.
Come. For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
That's right.
That's right. Go ahead.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession.
There you go, man. The house of Jacob, which are the blacks of the transatlantic slave trade, the natives of North, Central, South America, they shall have a possession, man. They will have in possession those heathens that ruled over them at one time. That's who we will have in possession. That's who the house of Jacob will have in his possession. So I can read on.
The house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
There you go, man.
And the house of
Go ahead.
And the house of Esau for stubble.
There you go, man. There will be a fire and a flame that will consume the heathen. But the house of Esau, the Caucasians, the oppressor who has ruled over not only our nation, but every nation, but he is the one who's committed so much atrocities on the earth that the Lord sought him to have nothing, man. You understand? Them other nations, the East Indian and the Arabs and the African, they'll have a little something, you know what I mean? The Romanians and them, man. Well, I don't know. No, I don't know. But you know what I mean? The regular everyday, you know, heathens, you know, the Africans, the Chinese, Japanese, the Arabs, East Indian, blah blah blah. They'll be here. You know what I mean? They'll be alive on the earth. They'll have their place on the earth. They'll serve us, but they'll still have their place. They'll still be here as a nation. They'll still have, you know, something. But the nation of Esau, who have committed so much, that they have done so much, it's unfathomable. Like they've gone to the all-out extreme. Their empires that have ruled over the earth have just done things that are just like, you know, we conquering nations, but you just have to go the extra mile. Like you have to, in your power, you'd have to destroy the ozone of the earth. You understand? You have to destroy something that prevents asteroids, giant rocks from friggin' space, from destroying cities and countries and the earth. You destroy something that naturally protects the earth from those things. You destroy the seas and the rivers and defile the foresters and make the animals go extinct and oppress every nation on the earth. They will be in trouble, man. They will have nothing. You know what I mean? When it came for them to oppress Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, bringing us over on them slave ships and slaughtering the Taínos and the Native Americans in North America, you understand? They had no mercy, man. There's just nothing that stops them. Their drive for destruction is just unbound. There's no boundaries to their madness and their way, how unclean they are. There's nothing that they won't do. They do everything. Everyone knows white people. They do everything. There's nothing they don't. There's nothing they don't do. There's nothing they won't eat. There's nothing they won't touch. There's nothing that they have that is sacred. there's just no nothing. Like at least if you know under the Sassanid Empire, you know, they have their religions and their beliefs, but they have their boundaries. They have some level of morality. Like you go to Saudi Arabia, yes, they hate us and they're our enemies and we despise them, but they still have some level of, you know, they're not gonna do certain things. You see what I'm saying? There's gonna be some level of boundary to what they would do, some level of lawfulness, some level. They're still heathens and they're still unclean and vile in the eyes of the Lord. But in comparison to Esau, Edom, nah, man, there's a nation that just has no bounds, and that is them, man. That's what the Lord. Like, if you read that bit again about Edom.
Khan, and the house of Salakia, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they will be
stubble, man. You understand? Go ahead.
Khan, and they shall kindle in them and devour them.
There you go, man. That's, you know, who's kindling in Edom is Israel, Jacob, and the house of Jacob and Joseph. You understand? Is Ephraim and Yehoiada. You understand? The Israelites. Whereas that flame in their kingdoms burning them from the inside out, they will be destroyed, man. Our nation will rise from the ashes and they will be brought to heel, man, as they should be. You understand? So, like, what verse you in?
Verse 18, sir. End of 18.
Finish that, yeah, and then we're gonna drop that, yeah.
Khan. And there shall be not Salakia, and there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
So there you go, man. There shall not be any remaining of them. Their very existence will be a folk tale. Once upon a time, there was this nation of people that were just pale, and when they got angry or they got hot, they just went red. I was like, what are you talking about, man? Come on, man. That's a fairy tale, man. It's like Bigfoot, man. You know what I mean? It's like Bigfoot, man, or the abominable snowman. But you realize that these are tales of, you know, fairy tale. But then that's how Esau will be, man. They will be a distant memory that fades away. They will go. They'll be extinct from the earth, and the earth will regenerate itself, and the forest and the seas and the jungles and life will flow in the earth, man. You understand? So, like, if you get me Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, Bob Kashar. You understand? Just like we said in the scriptures, man, every nation will drink of the cup. The same way they've drunken from the holy mountain, the same way they've drunken from Jerusalem. You understand? How they've taken the wine and they've taken our riches and destroyed us. The same way they've dealt with Israel. That's how they're gonna feel. They're great. Now they're gonna drink the wine that we had to drink. They're gonna drink oppression. They're gonna drink, you know, black on black crime, crack epidemic. You understand? They're gonna drink having to be subservient to other nations of people, and not having that strength and unity in your nation because you're scattered in slave doctrine, and they're gonna be dumbed down to be weak and have no military might, nor power to possess their own lands and actually provide for their own people. They would have to be just as we are today, and have to go to them and get food and clothing and water and all things that we may need from them. Well, that's how these nations will be, man. That's how the Lord has written it. So, like, you read that well, Kushar?
Sir. Revelation 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Go, you understand? That's what that means. For those who don't know, captivity is another word for slavery or being a prisoner or a captive. Captivity, a captive, you understand, for those who may not know. And those who lead people and nations of people at that into slavery, you understand? They shall go into slavery, man. You understand? Just like they did to us, like we've just read in Obadiah. All these nations will feel, you know what I mean? Will feel the back of my hand, you understand? Will feel the back of the hand of the Israelites. You know what I mean? They will feel the whip and the rod of judgment. You understand? And correction. They will feel it, man. They will feel the chains and shackles across their necks and arms and ankles, across their children's as well. You understand? For generations to come, that's how they will be, just as we are suffering today. Read on.
Khan. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
In the same way that we are slaughtered, they will be slaughtered, man. They're going to be put down. They're going to try to revolt and to rebel, and their villages and their little dwellings, where they ever may be, will be hiding, or little holes they may be dwelling in. They'll be destroyed, man. Put to the sword. Any type of uprising against the Israelites and our rule over the earth, they will be put down, man. Just as we was, and they will have no power to stand against us. Their power will mean nothing. You understand? Read on.
Khan. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So understand this. This scripture, in all its entirety, is the patience and the faith of the saints. Those who truly serve, those Israelites who truly serve the Most High. That's what your patience is. That's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for the day when these nations that are round about thee and thy people, right, who hate thy people and yourself, you understand, and the Most High and our King, you understand? The patience of the saints is that they one day will be in slavery, that they one day will feel the judgment of their crimes. They'll feel the great reward for their crimes. But if you in a fake Israelite group where you're celebrating the Pesach or the Passover, the so-called, right? And you got devils in there and Africans in there. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? You are a damn suicidal maniac, man. You're insane. You got friggin' devils trying to celebrate what the Lord gave us, man. Trying to come back to our heritage. Yet you can't leave Massa alone. You are disgusting and soft and weak as you could possibly be. Talking about like, and you wanna bring devils and other heathens around you. You're filthy and weak, man. You're disgusting. Then you should be ashamed. You should feel that great shame. You understand? That's why we will never stop and we never relent in bringing out the truth of these false groups and bringing out the truth of these fake organizations and religions like Christianity, Islam, and all the rest of it. You understand? Because it's foul, man, and it grieves us. You understand? Just like it grieved David to even witness those who stood against the Lord and for his ways and his people. Then how the hell can you claim to be a repentant Israelite and talk about you care about your people and all the rest of it, man? Nah, you just cowards, man. You know what I mean? And that's the Lord ain't with that. The Lord ain't with that weakness and that soft BS, man. You understand? The Lord is with judgment and on order and on understanding. And he is with those who will not trim their ways, who will not be soft and weak in their approach to being who the Lord called us to be. You understand? He will not trim our ways and be soft and try to change up a little bit to suit the like of others. We will not trim our ways to seek love. We'll keep it as it is, man. We'll keep it one West. And to the very end, man. That's what we will do. You understand? Because that's what it takes to truly have brotherhood. That's what it takes to have people calling the phones of schools around the world, of the UPK, calling from fake Israelite groups, calling the school for counsel. That only brotherhood can allow us to do that and give you that counsel and not try to mislead you. Only brotherhood will allow, you know what I mean, fake Israelites to the Lord's Passover. Only brotherhood will allow us to accept them in and to allow them the chance to change their ways and to pick up their swords and be strong. We care for our brothers, but we will not be soft and weak and allow you to defile the ranks of the UPK, nor will we allow you to preach your heresies and unchallenged. You understand? Those who serve the Lord understand what it means to be one West. Those who serve the Lord understand what it means to be without any type of compromise when it comes to service of the Lord. You understand? That's what it means to be one West. And that's the only thing you can understand, because that's true brotherhood, man. True brotherhood is relentless in its approach. It will never stop. because it is true, and that's all it can be, is true. But when you in the fakers that want to wear some purple dress and all the rest of it, listen, man, you go ahead. I mean, you go ahead and love the Nigerian who's gonna try to kill your daughter or you. You know what I mean? You will love the Nigerian who wants to eat albinos and them thing there, bro. You know what I mean? Nah, man, not in here. So, lucky if you get me Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16, Bob Kashar.
Jeremiah 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And
so
after,
let me just give you this, right? The fishermen that he sends out is those men who go out in camp, man. Those men in the school who go out and preach the word and give you the true knowledge of the scriptures and the history and give you that warning from the Lord. We'll fish you in. We'll try to bring you in and try to show you your heritage and show you your way, the proper way out to serve the Lord and your true tongue, your last one, Kodash. We will show you what it is. You understand? But read on.
Come. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, out of the holes of the rock.
So understand this. In this time now, we are all fishing, man. We're fishing right now. We're breaking down, we're destroying and standing against the principalities and the strongholds like Christianity and white Jesus and Islam and homosexuality and fake Israelites. We're standing against all that. You understand? That's bringing down them strongholds in this earth. That's what we're doing right now. We're fishing and we're trying to teach our people the way. You understand? That's what we're doing out here in the UPK. Those of us in the school, those of us that serve the Lord. That's what we're doing, man. You understand? But then there's going to be a time where all that talking is going to stop. You know what I mean? All that warning, all that mercy and love and happiness and friendship and fellowship with fake Israelites and and when I say fellowship, I don't mean that we affiliate ourselves with you. I mean friendship and love, as in we're giving you that. We ain't coming to your door and kicking down your door and drawing swords. You understand? For your heretics, for your heretic ways and your uncleanness within the community. That's what it means to be fishers. We ain't doing that yet. We're not busting people's heads with stones because they want to be a homosexual or they want to commit adultery. Sisters want to commit adultery or brother want to commit adultery to see the next man's wife. You know what I mean? We ain't busting people's heads with giant stones yet. You know what I mean? We ain't putting people to death. You know what I mean? For doing certain things, man. You understand? For allowing the heathen to kill our sister and then want to carry on and wear that purple BS. We ain't doing you nothing. We ain't doing you nothing. We're just teaching the truth. We're fishing right now. But there's gonna be a time when there's gonna be hunted, and there's gonna be the prey, and there's gonna be the hunters. And there's gonna be a time where those who sought the love of heathens other than their brothers, they will be the hunters. From every high place, every mountain, every hill, every hole in the ground, you understand, where you want to hide, or every little mosque or church where you're going to go burrow yourself in and hide like a coward, you know what I mean, and fear. We will never walk the streets. You'll be in fear and in shock because you'll be a wanted man or woman because you chose the love of heathens rather than the love of your people. And that's what you'll be hunted down like a deer, an elk. You understand? You're hunted down and put down, man. And judges will be executed upon this earth. You understand? All those NYPD police officers who slaughtered our brothers and sisters, man. You think they should get away? You think the Most High Power is going to allow them to destroy and slaughter his people unmatched and unchallenged? Nah, man. They will find out one day when they come back in the regeneration. They will find out that their sons and their sons' sons and their daughters will be put to the sword, man. And they will feel judgment throughout their generations. They will feel judgment. It can never be escaped. All of them that stood against us boldly, against our people, and those traitors and those fake groups that love the heathen and want to do that, all of these people will be hunted down, man. There'll be ruling power. There'll be the Most High Power and our King Yahushua over the throne, of this earth, ruling, and he will give the orders, man. You understand? That's the Bible. But you want to believe fairy tales from the Christian church and love and hippy dippy nonsense with all this rainbow. You understand? That's not in the Bible, man. Bible is about rules and judgment and order and structure. And there is a price to pay. You cannot, you may escape it in this life. You may escape it in the next life. But there's a day when you will come back and your line will come back and they will face the great judgment of the Lord. And there's nothing they can do about it. You understand?
Right.
Read verse 17, Bob Kishar.
Khan. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquity hid from my eyes.
There you go, man. All the crimes of these fake Israelite groups within our communities, man. To brothers and sisters who came from the Christian church and they saw a bastardized version of the truth, which was more acceptable to them because they came from a church where everything is weak and soft. So they saw many groups online and they saw a couple that were a little bit more acceptable to them, a little bit more easier to them to change to because it wasn't so far off where they just came from. You understand? Because they saw brothers in all black and headpieces and girls in their teeth and chain and shields around their neck, and it was like, damn, that's too much for me. I just came from church. So I don't want to do all that. That's why they join fake Israelite groups, because they are mentally still weak. They're still slaves in the church, and they're just going to another church to be misled and destroyed. And the crimes of these people that betray our people with loving heathens and all the rest of it in their heresies, Lord has not, their face is not hidden from him, man. All their crimes, their sins is not hidden from his face. Tazadakia with that Jesus church of whatever, you understand, where he robbed the people, charging them, was it 20% tithes? And now he's in prison for embezzlement. The crimes of these fake groups is not unseen. GMS with their rape, you understand, and all the uncleanness, man. You understand the crimes of all these false groups and all these traitors that love the Christian church and the Muslim mosque and all the rest of it that love this society and the heathen. You understand? All their crimes are not hidden from the face of the Lord, man. All their crimes are not hidden. The Lord sees it all. And that's right. Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans suffered the oppression and went into slave ships and still suffer today. Is the same way that the Lord will see them and reward these criminals, because that's what they'll be, wanted men in the kingdom. Right. That's how the Lord will see them and reward them as he seems fit. You understand? So, like, if you get me Psalms 137 verse 9, and this is the thing.
Second one, Psalms 137.
Come on, verse 9, yeah?
Come on, sir.
You understand? The same way, all that we've endured in this place, the Lord is not gonna get away with it, man. And understand this. This is what it truly means to understand brotherhood. This is what it means to truly understand loving your brother, loving thy neighbor, man, as thyself. You cannot love the person who killed your brother unlawfully with pure hatred, trust your brothers and sisters, and destroyed their minds, right, as a nation of people for years and years, and then want to claim to love them at the same time as well as loving the people. It's impossible. You are a traitor if that's how you feel, if that's how you think in your mind. You cannot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's about keeping it real, keep the reality, man. Forsake the Christianity and the nonsense, and look at what's real in your. You cannot have your heart cannot be loyal to two masters. It's impossible. You either hate one or love the other. You cannot love them both. There, and that's a thing to do, man. In 2021, it's time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to pick a side, man, and love your brothers. Prefer your own, man. Prefer the Most High over these heathens and their philosophies and their ways, man, over this kingdom that we're in. Choose the Lord, man. And there's only one side. There's no neutral party. Like, you know what I mean? A neutral ground, or someone that's neutral, a nation that's neutral. is a nation that has not picked a side and they can just live on their own, and it's impossible. There is no neutral side. You are on one side or the other. You know what I mean? And in this time, the only way you can truly be about your people and about the Most High is if you pick a side, man. There is no in between.
Right.
So I can read that, Bob Kishore.
Concert. Psalms 137, verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Happy. This is what David says, man. You understand? This is a man of the Lord's heart. You understand? The Most High's heart. Happy shall thou be when we taketh their little ones and dash them against stones, man. Just like in 1492, Christopher Columbus slaughtered and pillaged Native Americans across the South and Central America and the Caribbean, and slaughtered babies and pregnant women and mutilated brothers and hanged them and destroyed villages and defied lands and peoples. You understand? The same way that on the Trail of Tears, where they had our brothers, the Gadites and Native Americans, North Americans, you understand? It had them in reservations today, but they had them in the Trail of Tears, marching them to lands that were not their own, because the U.S. government wanted to take over their lands where they lived, where they dwelled, and they marched them, they did in the heat, and had them, you know, just barely surviving, dropping dead, pregnant women suffering. You know, when a woman is pregnant, you know what I mean, their ankles swell up, they're hungry, they're thirsty, you know what I mean, they need rest. Their body's going through different changes and stages. Women that were carrying babies, you understand? What they would do is they would have a pregnant woman who's slowing down the movement, you know what I mean, the trail. They would take her and cut her belly open, man. You understand? That's what they'll do, and stamp on the dead baby. The same way they did it to the blacks, the Negroes, the ones, you know what I mean, the Southern Kingdom, you know what I mean, the blacks, the Negroes, you understand, the Jamaicans, the American Negroes, the Haitians. The same way they did it to us, our pregnant women as well. The same thing. You understand? And they took babies, the women and the Trail of Tears, they took babies they took women that were carrying their babies, ripped the baby from her hands and smashed the baby against a stone because the baby was too loud. You understand? Read that precept one more time, Bobby Kishore.
Concert. Psalms 137, verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little one against the stones.
Go ahead.
That's the end of the verse.
No sweat. You understand? That's why we'll be happy in that day. Those of us who are righteous and are true, we can only be happy when that's true justice is served, when their sons and daughters, their young ones are treated and put down as that. You understand? That's the only way that can happen, when their young ones suffer the great crimes that we have suffered.
That's right.
When their young ones are ripped from the hands of their mothers and sold across the whole nation. When their mothers have to endure, you understand, breastfeeding another nation of people's child and your own child starved to death. You understand?
Right.
The Lord and the man that had the Lord's heart, he said, happy shall thou be. Because that is true brotherhood. It's true brotherhood for your people who that have suffered at the hands of their oppressors. Those who sell out and are weak and have no backbone, are simple slaves. You cannot understand the Bible because you are too weak to stand for the Most High. You don't know what it means to serve God, the Most High power of this Bible, the Most High Yahweh. You don't know what it means because you serve yourself like a weak, simple slave. You serve yourself and your slave master, man, and you're happy doing it. And you shall die with weakness and dishonor if you continue to live and be that way. But you will not come in here and defile the ranks. If you truly desire to be strong, you will call up the number, man. You call the UPK, and we can show you what it means to be men of the Lord, men that will care about their people and their families. But you want to be weak and love massa, then you'll die a weak man. You'll die of dishonor. And in the kingdom to come, you'll be low in the kingdom, man. You'll be living among the where your people rule over them. That's where you will be. You understand? That's the reality of the Bible and the most high power of this Bible. The true power of this Bible is, man. So, lucky if you get me Isaiah 41, okay, 14 and verse 1, Bob Kishore.
Karawakan. Isaiah 14, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel
You understand?
and set them.
Go ahead.
And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them.
So,
and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
So the Lord, right? The Lord will have mercy upon Jacob, the Israelites, man, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only. The Lord will have mercy upon Israel, and we will set us in our own land in that day of our salvation. That's what our salvation is. Taken from the hands of the people that rule over us, you understand? Taken from the hands of those that oppress and destroy us, that we may have our own land and establish ourselves. But it also said what? That the nations will be joined with us. So that's where the Christians will be like, yeah, everything's happy, banging the damn tambourine and acting like a damn idiot. You understand? That's how they'll be bringing the rest of it. But understand the reality of this Bible is not that fairy tale called Christianity. So like you read on.
Concert. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And the people shall take them.
So now, the heathens that come with us into our kingdom, they will cleave unto us. Now, to cleave onto something, meaning you're going to grab onto it like this, right? But what it means in this context is the same way that we cleave onto them for food, water, clothing. We go to their shops for electricity, gas. You know what I mean? Want to get a job, want to live somewhere, want to buy a property. You know what I mean? You want to have a child, you want to die, you want to have a loved one die, you have to go to them. The same way that we cleave unto them in one of all things, that's how they will cleave unto us. And then it said, we will take them. You understand? Take them. We are controlling what happens with them. They are being taken to our land. Read on.
Karawakan, and bring them to their place.
Mm-hmm.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
So we will possess them as they possessed us for servants and handmaids, man. They will be our slaves, man. You understand? Read on.
Karawakan, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
There you go, man. We will take them captives, who for former time we was their captives, man. But now the tables have turned, man. Now the tables have truly turned, and we will rule over them. They will have to come to our stores for water and electricity and things. You know what I mean? They will have to come. They'll have to pay us. You know what I mean? Rent and taxes to our government and our empire. You understand? They will have to go to us to have a baby, to name their child, education system. You know what I mean? If someone dies in their family, anything, they will have to come to us, man. And they will be serving us. If they want food, if they want to eat, they'll have to come to us. If they want anything, they have to come. Just like how we are to them. That's what the Lord. That's the judgment, and that's the righteous judgment of the Lord, man.
Right.
The Lord will not have. There will be no unbalance with the Lord, man. You understand? There will be a balance. The same way that we endured the oppression and we go through all the things that we dealt with, man. They will have to go through worse, man, because we are the Lord's chosen people. But hear the mind of a slave, though. Think about it. The Bible says that people will receive that justice and the judgment of the Lord will come upon their heads. They will feel the pain of what they've done to us. It will come to them. It will come around. You know what I mean? They say it in the word, they say what goes around comes around. That's what the Bible says, right? Well, the slave says that everyone can be saved and we're all in it together, but we didn't all go through slavery or slave ships. We didn't all have to be slaughtered like lambs. We're not all having to be living in areas and ghettos where our people are suffering from drug overdose and destroying themselves in gang violence and have the mental capacity to only know how to destroy ourselves because of the lack of education, the lack of funding, the lack of anything, the lack of true nourishment that we need. You know what I mean? The lack of acknowledgement as a people because we don't even get recognition for building up their empires for free. You
Right.
understand? We don't even get reparations as it was for the crimes of our enemies. You understand? And for all that our forefathers had to die and bleed for. You understand? Our people came here in the Windrush. So like, hold on, we died in their wars and fought for their empires and their nations, and we were
Fuck.
slaughtered like lambs. It's documented how we were slaughtered and put to the front lines of their militaries. Yet we was called a gollywog and sent back to Jamaica or wherever we was. You understand? And then after that, they come to the islands and say, "Oh, come on, help us. We got roads and streets of diamonds and gold, and you know you'll be treated like family or whatever the case may be with that Christianity garbage." You know what I mean? And then you come over there and you're getting, you go on the road and you're living in little hovels and little holes, paying all this money, and then you're walking on the road and you're helping to build up their economy and their empire to rebuild it from all the war and all the damage. Then you're getting chased down the road. If you're on your ones, if you're on your own, you go walk on the road just doing your thing. You get chased down by about 20 skinheads that attack you because you're outnumbered on your own and because they think they can attack you. You understand? This is the reality that you have to understand. This is not justice. We have not received justice for those things and the things that we still go through. The mind of a slave thinks that even though we suffer the things that we've been going through and have gone through, they think that one day everyone's gonna die. We go up in the clouds and we're all friends and family and happy and everything's cool. But they just did all that to us. That we're just going through all that. Nothing done. That's a slave. That's the mind of a slave. You can't, you know what I mean? You are a slave. You are indoctrinated as a simple slave who hates your people. To think that is how it should run. To think that that's okay. You understand? Because the very same nation of people that you want to love, they would not think twice. It wouldn't even take a second for them to pull up arms and bust gun and them thing there and go to war with any nation of people that does anything to them. Any little thing that they may suffer, they're crying about it. You understand? But all the things that we are suffering and have suffered and still are going through, we ain't received nothing. But yet you want to love them. You want them to be saved. What are they being saved from?
That's right.
We the ones being slaughtered. Our brothers are killing each other in the streets because of the indoctrination of Christianity and the conditions we've been placed in. We're the ones that are suffering. Our communities are damaged and so simplistic that love the enemy when the enemy is only taking from us and benefiting and growing their people, but then we're just suffering, stuck with nothing, struggling to pay the bills. Only a simplistic, weak slave could ever think that way, that's okay. And for you to think that and to believe that, you are worse than the devil himself. You are worse than our oppressors and all the heathen nations around about. You are the worst because you are simplistic that you can't even see that. You're too weak to stand for it. And quite personally, what life is that to live, man? You know what I mean? I would rather die with honor and integrity in glorious battle against my enemies than to live like that, man. What kind of quality of life is that, man? You know what I mean? To think worth anything, man, you are lower than the waist, man. You understand? But know this, you can be restored. No matter how low you may be, no matter how bad and how pathetic it may be, you know, that's why our king died, man. Our king died so that brothers that are so weak as that would have the opportunity to one day call themselves a prince of the power, man. To one day take back their heritage. But reality needs to kick in one day, and it will. Whether you like it or not, accept it or not, one day, you know what I mean? Our king and the mighty power, a force behind him, you know what I mean? A legion of army of angels, the Alahayim, will follow him into battle. And that day, nothing can save you then. You know what I mean? That day you will be hunted. You understand? Because you chose to love your enemies and hate your brother. That's why. You understand? So I can read on.
Come on, sir. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
So this is what the Lord said. The Lord said the children of Israel, when we come back to our heritage and he comes back and he saves us from our oppressors, you understand? We will rule over the enemies, man. We will rule over them who have oppressed us and destroyed us. You know what I mean? Let's read on.
Come. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrows.
There we go, man.
And
We will actually receive rest from our sorrows, man. The Native American on the reservation will receive rest from having to deal with drug overdose and alcoholism in this community and violence, knife and gun violence, destroying themselves and their own people and living in that hovel, what they were given, which is, you know what I mean? Which is nothing compared to what they're owed. Our brothers, the Hispanics, the Latinos, so-called, you understand? Our children and babies in cages on the border, suffering at the hands of people that hate them on their own land. You understand? They will find justice and peace from that, man. Having to be persecuted in a land that is your own, or one day you'll be able to persecute them, but it will not be unjust. It will be truly just. You know what I mean? The thing is, what we're teaching here and what the Bible is saying is not just unlawful violence. It is judgment. It is about law and what is right. You can't oppress and destroy a people and wrong them and think to get away. But that's the God they serve in the Christian church, though. You understand? That's only right that the so-called Mexicans will have the oppressor, the white man, in chains one day. You understand? It's only right that one day they will receive justice, man. And that's what the Bible says, man. The Bible is about a book of justice, man. It is a book of justice, and it is a book that will allow us to receive justice when we truly follow him, man. You understand? It's not about attacking people on road because they look different from you or because they speak language from you. That's what they do to us because we're different. We are talking about a judgment, a paradox of things that will arise from the crimes of a nation of people. You understand? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about unlawful wildness and unlawfulness. We're talking about justice, man. We're talking about justice for the crimes that have been done against our people. And that's what the Lord's about, man. You understand? So give me Galatians 5:13, Bokasha.
Come on, sir. Galatians 5:13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Right.
Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another.
So we should not allow our liberty of our little piece of freedom and our mercy that the Lord has given us to allow us to defile ourselves even more, like they do in the Christian church. You understand? You're supposed to repent and change from your ways, but yet you want to justify sinning and being unclean and wicked. Nah, you're supposed to allow that liberty to allow us to know that yes, we once upon a time may have killed our own brothers or treated our own people like hell. You understand? Or done atrocities on this earth to our own people and against the Most High power and our heritage and our culture and our way. But we are now take that liberty that we've been given, that mercy that we've been given, and we can restore ourselves and those brothers who are coming up doing the same thing that you was doing once upon a time, man. That's what you're supposed to use that liberty for, man. To exact lawfulness in your brothers and sisters. You understand? To exact righteousness to be the norm around you, man. You understand? For your people. Considering that all that they have endured and done, all they have endured and suffered in their minds, they will actually be able to be restored, man, because of that liberty. You understand? And we will be able to achieve brotherhood. But so like if you get me Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 17, Bokasha.
For the one can't. Is that 13 to like the other one?
12 and 17, Bokasha.
Can't, sir. Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Mm-hmm.
And thou, Salakia, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
So this is talking about our enemies, man. Whenever there's an enemy, you understand, whenever you are dealing with affliction, just remember who is installed these things in wherever you live, man. Just remember that you have an enemy, you have enemies round about you who do not love you. You know what I mean? You can work and do your slave and you can be among them and be civilized within this society that we live in. But it don't mean you have to subject yourself to them and think that they are your family, because they're not. You understand? There's a difference. And that difference will always stand. You understand? And knowing that will help you, man. Knowing that will keep you to understand what true brotherhood is and what it truly means to love your own people. Listen, like I said before, a nation that loves is a man that has pride in his own people, whether he be from Uganda or Italy or Scotland or whatever the case may be, or China, Japan, Romania, whatever, you name it. There's nothing wrong with that man having pride in his people, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we must relearn that, you know what I mean, that pride in our nation and who we are. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's in loving your own and standing for your own people. That's what we need to learn, man. That's what we need to know. Listen, you man doing that, that's good. That's good for you. But listen, I want my nation to be strong and healthy and fit to love themselves, man, and not destroy themselves and sell drugs to one another and kill each other and do all manner of atrocities against your own people, man. You understand? That's what we look for here. And we must understand who our enemies are and who our brothers are and understand what that means. You understand? So like if you give me Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26.
Ephesians 4 verse 26. So like I said, just to add to what you just said, if I could.
Go ahead.
And Edomites and blacks mixing, they always say like, oh, this is my brother from a different mother. You know what I mean? Which now looking at it makes me sick, because you come out of that and you come into the truth and you know they are not your brothers. You understand? It's like, just to add to that.
No, that's right, man. That's a heavy point, man. That's the reality that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans need to understand. That's the reality that will actually change and save our people from the destruction that we've been enduring, man. You understand? When we can understand who we are and where we stand and who our allegiance should lie, where it's like where our allegiance should lie, then we would understand who we are. We will be able to better ourselves and deal with our own civil matters within our own community. You understand? Don't let them talk about the crimes and the things that happen within our community. You understand? Let us handle our own business, man. You understand? That's not their business, because they're the ones who caused us to be in that predicament today. They're the ones who put us in the mindset to be so self-destructive. They're the ones that put our people in that whole condition. They're the ones who put us as a nation. We were put in that condition. That's how we are today because of them. So how can they now look back on us and be like, look at you, look at this, look at that? What is you why we're so destroyed? You understand? That's how we fix our own selves and understand what brotherhood is. So like, read that, Bob Kushar.
Go on, sir. Ephesians 4 verse 26. Be you angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
So there you go, man. You understand? Be angry but sin not, man. Meaning you're not when anger strikes in your heart, man. You know you don't do unlawfulness, man. Don't let another day come about where you still hold that rage within you, man. Your only rage, your only anger or plight for justice you should seek is from the hands of your enemies. But people that are your brothers, listen, man. You don't let that anger. You look at the brother or sister that's trying to afflict you, and you know why he's doing that. You know what
Right.
that mindset of someone that is so quick to destroy someone that's like just like him. You know where that comes from. You know the source that it came from, man. And so you should remember in that day. You should remember whenever a brother does you something, you should remember, listen, man, he just like me, man. You understand? He just like me. But when it's one of your true enemies, listen, man, you give them what it is, man. You remember that crime. You don't forget it, man. You hold that grudge. You understand? You remember the crimes of that person and that people. You understand? Don't forget it, man. You understand? But when it's your brother, just know yourself, man. Know who he is. Look, and you should know better to what he don't know, man. He don't know no better. He's been destroyed by them. It's because of the plans and the schemes of the enemy, why your own brothers and sisters hate you and hate themselves because of them. That's caused by them. You understand? And that's why we must understand and know that, listen, man, we must bestow that mercy onto our brothers, just as the Most High did unto us, man. Just as the Lord had mercy upon Jacob, that's why we must have mercy upon our brothers, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. It's like you had something?
Cancer, what you just said there was so heavy. Like when you just said, like, you know what I mean? See that there what you just said would stop black on black crime straight away.
That's right.
Because we would know that it, just as you said, so it's like, you know, it's not the person who is actually that way by his own. He's done that. He's learned that behavior from the slave master. And if our brothers, if our brothers could just, like, you know what I mean, look past the action that he's done and look, you know what I mean, look, that's the devil that done that. It would end black on black crime. It's like you to add your point, man.
No, that's right, man. Give the trooper a hand, man. Trooper Hakayan Korab, man. It's so true. You understand? It's so true, man. You understand? That's the reality that we must face, because when we look at all these other nations of people, they understand that. These other nations of people understand what it means, and they know how to go about their ways, and we see it. And that's what we must understand too. We must understand that we must love our own, man, and stop being the simplistic slave who's always running to massa, man, who's always quick to love his oppressor and hate his own people. We should know how to fix ourselves within our own community and rebuild ourselves as a people. And that's the only way we can achieve brotherhood, man. That's the only way we can truly serve the Lord and the Most High and Christ, you understand? But with that, that's the class. Pass the class over to the priest and captain of 10,000 Parasha.
Right, we're going to give a teacher a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I-Madiam. Men of Israel, I-Madiam Shabbat. I-Madiam Barak. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Yad
Yamata. Class dismissed.